In keeping with our commitment to reconciliation, Daniels acknowledged the inherent relationship indigenous peoples have with the land, air, and water, all as part of their sacred relationship with Mother Earth. As we work and build in communities across the Greater Toronto Area, we acknowledge these are treaty lands and part of the traditional territory of several Indigenous nations. For thousands of years, the GTA has been the traditional gathering place shared by many nations, including the treaty lands of the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation and the shared territory of the Neutrals, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. The GTA is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and we're grateful for their contribution and the opportunity to work and live with them in this territory we all call home. So Vicky Huang is the founder and owner of Bay Street Group. Before she started her career in real estate, she worked for TD and RBC in the risk management department for their global capital market. She also has a Master of Mathematical Finance from University of Toronto. Vicky started her own real estate brokerage, Bay Street Group, in year 2016. Under the leadership of Vicky, Bay Street Group has grown to over 1,300 agents, with annual transactions exceeding 10,000 deals. Recently, Bay Street Group was honored to be recognized as one of top 10 real estate brokerage brands in Ontario. Vicky has developed a reputation for leading for the frontline, working with teams and clients in developing and executing business plans, which resulted in the advancement of the key strategic initiatives. As Fatima mentioned, International Women's Day was just a couple of weeks ago, March 8th. So in today's fireside chat, we're going to place a special focus on Vicky and her trailblazing career as a woman in real estate. So let's jump right into our conversation. So let's start with you being one of the few women at the head of brokerage as large as Bay Street Group. So that's such a huge achievement. So what motivated you to start your own brokerage, and what was the most challenging part of building your own brokerage?
Okay, yeah, thank you, Linda. You already introduced my background. So my background is I used to work in the investment bank on the Bay Street. And I actually obtained my real estate license when my first child was born. I wish I had a little bit more time to be with my child. So I started working as a part-time agent. And I think I did reasonably well. And I find out that I really enjoy the experience in assisting my clients finding their dream home and accumulating their assets through buying or selling the real estate. Then I realized that actually my business grew very quickly, but if I want to increase my business volume significantly, I cannot do that just by myself. So I think the best way is just to build up the team. Then I started to build up the team and let my team member to focus on what they are really at. So when we work as a team, I do see a lot of growth in my business. Then I started thinking of opening my own brokerage when our team starting to have around 20 people there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Great to hear. So not very many women in the industry have found themselves being at the top of large brokerage like Bay Street Group. So do you think that your experience has opened up new opportunities for women in your industry? Because I see Angela as the lead of the team as well.
Yes, I do see that. Some of my friends and coworkers, they were aware of my success in the real estate industry. So they actually come to speak to me. So I told them that they can just focus on what they're really passionate about. So the funny thing is some of them, they did the same thing as I did. They quitted their job in the investment bank or big four accounting firms, becoming the realtors. And because we all have pretty similar backgrounds, most of them, they started this career at my brokerage. Yeah. Nowadays, I do see most of them, they doing very well in this real estate industry. And I started to see an increased number of the female realtors. They becoming to set up their teams and become the team leaders, or like they open their own brokerage and become the entrepreneurs. Yeah, it's very pleasant to see like more and more female realtors to be actually recognized. Yeah,
That's really great to hear. And we often hear that career in real estate offer women the opportunity for independence. So we talk about you being an entrepreneur, starting your brokerage. The women agents at Bay Street Group are also entrepreneurs in their own right. So how do you think the flexibility offered by career in real estate offers women more opportunity to get into the industry?
I think we as a women, we actually will have more obligations, responsibilities to our family and to our children. So some of the women, they have to quit the job because like they cannot work from 9 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening. But they don't want to be like stay at home mom neither. So I think like they are pretty good people. They can like work at 6 a.m. before the children wake up, or like 10 p.m. during the night after the kids they have gone to the bed. They can get the job done. So I think real estate like is a very flexible job. It's actually give the women the opportunity. They can get the job done and they can also fulfill their duty, becoming a mommy, the wife, and the daughter. Yeah. So I think that's very good, but everything has a flip side. Because this job is very flexible, which meaning that no one is actually monitoring you. So you have to be like self-disciplined, setting up your goal and make up the plan, really carry it out and practicing your time management.
Really have to motivate yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So our team knows that Daniel's Platinum agents, such as you, are some of our most important partners. So your support of our community enables us to reach purchasers far and wide. So we're so grateful for all that you and your team do to share our work with your clients. It's always a pleasure working together to bring our communities to the market and ultimately to deliver high quality homes to our purchasers, knowing they will love where they live. So thank you all and you and your team's work. So thinking a bit more about our purchasers, I know our team here today is eager to know how you and your team built successful relationship with your clients. So what are your tips for building successful relationships with clients, and how have these tips helped you grow your network?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to me, I think like when you're dealing with a client, you have to be like really thinking about truly understanding like the client's need and desires, and just provide the best possible customer service to them and be consistent. So we are actually building up the long-term relationship with our clients, not just like one transaction. So for me, I always telling my clients that my customer service actually starts when the deal is closed. So I will always be there anytime they need me. Yeah, so I will provide like whatever the service they want. So most of my past clients, they actually become my personal friends. They're not just give me their own business. They also give me a lot of referrals. Yeah, so when I was working as a real estate agent, so I think like over 90% of my business, they are coming from the referrals. That's how I start to build up my client database. Yeah,
that's great. Mm-hmm. That's great to hear. So yeah, so as we wrap up our fireside chat today, again, Vicky, I want to thank you again for joining us and share your experience and your knowledge with our team. So I'd like to open up the floor for any questions. So please raise your hand and let us know if there's anything you would like to ask Vicky.
I have a question. So, Vicky, given that you manage such an enormous team, which is incredible, how would you describe your leadership style?
So I think for me, it's like when I started the brokerage, actually, like I know nothing about running the brokerage, and it's the same thing when I start the team. I don't know like how to be the good team leader. So I think I just started like from truly understand my team members and my agents their needs, and I have to provide them the best service. So being the leaders, I have to first to reposition my role here. So my clients is changing from the buyers and the sellers to the realtors. So I have to, like just mentioned, truly understand their needs, and also I have to help them to grow, help them to build up their career path. So when we do that, it's kind of making me become like the right leaders, and then I start to recruit more and more agents to my brokerage.
That's great. Any other questions?
Do you think that, actually, what's sort of the biggest barrier that you feel like you faced in your career building your brokerage? Or the biggest challenge you faced?
That's a very good question. So running the brokerage, so even though when I started, I know nothing about that, but I know only one thing. Recruiting and retaining the agent, especially the top agent, is crucial for the brokerage survival. So what I do is I think in this industry, we already have a lot of established players. So I have to offer something different, distinctive, and to attract those agents to join me. So I think the most challenging part or difficult part for me at the beginning is like recruiting. How can I persuade agents to join my new and no-name brokerage? Then I start to talking to a lot of agents. I think I have to maintain and provide the value-added service, and also to always innovating my business model. And I need to have a well-designed strategy for attracting those top-performing agents.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I have one. Well, because I'm a mom and you're also a mom, I guess we also have a lot of moms here. How do you manage your healthy work-life balance? I guess that's the most thing.
That's a very difficult question. I think as a women entrepreneur, it's very hard to really balance your family and your working life. So for me, it's at the beginning, actually, I sacrifice a lot of times for my families and friends. I think like I have to work more, I have to do more to be recognized as a women entrepreneur. I'm not working on the very flexible schedule. I'm not working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I used to work from 8 a.m. and to 12 a.m. midnight. But then I realized that like once you working so hard, you have to learn how to build up your own system to make it work more efficiently. Once you have the system, you can spare yourself out, and you will have more time to spend with your family.
Good to know. Good tips. Thank you.
Question. First of all, thank you. This was quite inspiring. So thank you for taking the time to join us today. I get to watch you at our events and other events throughout the industry, and I'm really curious. I'd love to know, how have you built your confidence throughout the course of your career?
So actually, I used to be a very shy person. I'm very worried about to speak in front of the strangers. I think it's just like one thing is practicing, and another thing is you really have to building up the confidence through like your keep learning, make yourself to be very knowledgeable. So whenever people ask you the question, my agent asks me the question, I know the answer. Then so that's why when I give them the trainings, when I speak to them, I become more and more confident. It's the same thing for the client. Once we be prepared, we know like their needs, and I already know like what their pain point, what they are going to ask, what they are worried about, what's their objection. Then you will be very confident to answer all those questions. Yeah.
Great. I guess that's all the questions we have. Thank you so much today for joining us and being here. And again, your information actually, inspired me especially a lot. And I believe same as everybody else here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, everyone.